What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Dark Reflections, our sort of review show, but really where we just kind of talk about shit that we love, honestly. Today is a good one. First of all, it's the day after Christmas, so happy holidays to everyone out there, and I hope you all had a great one, and I hope you all have a very good New Year's. It's gonna be a big one, 2020 for sure, especially for heavy metal. Lots of big releases coming out next year. Lots to be looking forward to. But today, we're going to talk about a release from 2019. As a matter of fact, it came out December 13th, 2019 on Stillborn Records. That's right. It's the new Jasta Lost Chapters Part 2. Oh, look at it in its glory. Such a great cover. And huge, huge shout out to Jamie Jasta for putting up those unbelievable pre-order options. If you're a fan, you need to be paying attention because holy shit, the stuff he puts up for like for example, the one I got is this CD with his signature. He signed it there, and then he put out these absolutely mind-blowing fucking. This is a journal. These journals with the Jasta logo. Try to get a good shot of that for you. Absolutely gorgeous. And then he even personally inscribed every single one with a little note to every person that ordered one. So like the absolutely incredible quality. I just love holding it. And some things are going to be written in here for sure. Very excited. So I just wanted to give him obviously a huge shout out, for the exceptional pre-order options. They were outstanding. And the t-shirts, the bandanas and stuff. Oh man, like so many good ones. But we're here to talk about the new album, Lost Chapters Volume 2, which is the follow-up to his 2011 release, Lost Chapters Part 1. As far as I know, all the drum, obviously Jost on every song, so the lead vocals, and then all of the drums and the guitar are done by Nicky and Charlie Belmore. The Belmore brothers also work with Jost a lot. They're in Kingdom of Sorrow with him. And they were also on, I believe, they were also on the Dee Snider album that Jasta produced last year, which was my personal album of the year last year. Outstanding, For the Love of Metal. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. They're all in Kingdom of Sorrow, though. And then, so I believe that's the main personnel on this record, Jamie Jasta and then the Belmore brothers. Now, this album has a mind-boggling guest list. All right, the guest list on this album is unfucking believable, and it's something that I don't think we see enough of in heavy metal. So when I do see it, it blows me away. Check this out. All right, starting with track 1, we got George Corpse Grinder fucking Fisher, Max Cavalera, Jesse Leach, Zoli Teglas, sorry if I don't pronounce that right, Matthew Heafy, Kirk Winston, Howard Jones, Billy Bio, Frankie Palomari, Phil Ryan, Tommy Victor, and Joey Concepcion. Holy shit. That's the guest list. Like, what? Man, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable insanity. I've said it 1,000 times. I love it when people from the metal and rock world collaborate, and to see that in such glory on this album it was very exciting for me. I knew about all the guests before the album came out. That's part of the reason I was so excited for the album. But I mean, personally, there are dream collaborations on here. It's nothing like literally diamond hard gems of just dream collaborations. Like, personally, for me, Jasta and Corpse Grinder are two of my all-time favorite vocalists. So to finally hear them on a track together is like beyond amazing and something that I've been hoping to hear for a very long time, personally. And also, the cover art was done by I'm sorry if I don't pronounce this correctly, Diego Guedas de Souza, yeah. Diego Guedas de Souza. All right. Check it out. Check him out. I'm pretty sure I think he's got an Instagram, and he does some pretty awesome work. Absolutely outstanding. I always love to give the cover artists a shout out because it is I still collect hard copies, obviously, so it's still important. Normally, I try to avoid breaking an album down track by track, and I'm not going to do that here, but I am going to talk about some tracks. There are just so many standouts on this album. And I just think they deserve it. I really do. So first of all, obviously, track 1, They Want Your Soul, featuring George Corpse Grinder Fisher. Now, what's crazy is that every song on this album, if you read in the CD booklet, every song on the album starts with a quote. Every song is like predicated on that quote. It gives you a new perspective on what's going on in the song and in the album. So this one in particular starts with the only vice that cannot be forgiven is hypocrisy. The repentance of a hypocrite is itself hypocrisy. William Hazlitt. And this track is instant fucking gold. It starts off with almost an immediate, which continues through the whole song, vocal trade-off between Jasta and Corpse Grinder, line to line to line to line, and it sounds incredible. They go back and forth, and then it does have, admittedly, a surprisingly catchy hook especially for a Corpse Grinder, a song that Corpse Grinder is on. I would not describe this song as a death metal song by any means. But like the hook, everything, I thought it was outstanding, and I absolutely love every minute of it. And it's full tilt Jasta, full tilt Corpse Grinder. Their vocal performances on this are outstanding, and this is officially a song that is now in my permanent rotation. I just like when his first solo album with Enslaved, Dead or Depraved with Randy Bly. Well, also one of my favorite tracks, just in general of all time. Like the vocal trade-offs on that one are equally as insane as this one, and to hear those two together and to hear them just being everything you want them to be, you know what I mean? Like just the most brutal death growl and just the hardest yell from Joss. It's outstanding track. Next one up I really wanted to feature was Return from War. This is track 2, and it features another one of my all-time favorite vocalists, Max Cavalera. It starts with the quote, PTSD is not the person refusing to let go of the past, but the past refusing to let go of the person. This quote is credited to Unknown. And then there's actually another quote that says, only the dead have seen the end of war, and that's Plato. And this track is Welcome to Drumtown. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, the drums on this track are absolutely outstanding. The lyrics and the drums on this one and the vocals are just on another level. The trade-offs between Jasta and Cavalera are instant legendary moments in heavy metal history. In my opinion, the hook is like, no one returns from war, and then it fucking, with my hands I did their crimes, they made me do their crimes, now I'm the one that lives with their cries. Those are some of the lyrics. Holy fucking shit. Insane lyrics. Absolutely. One of my favorite lyrical tracks on the album, definitely. If those don't hit home, I don't know what does. And the song is a straight up fucking chest beater, and the breakdown will make you want to go either come out of mosh retirement, or if you're moshing already, you'll go full crowd kill. It's insane. The next one I want to talk about is Spill Blood Never Dries. The quote for this one is, once we're thrown off our habitual paths, we think all is lost, but it's only here that the new and good things begin. Leo Tolstoy. This song features Kirk Winston of Crowbar and Welcome to Riff fucking City. Like, it is definitely one of my favorite riffs on the entire album, and to have the song like just open with it like it does absolutely blew me away and is outstanding. Really love the guitar on this work. It opens with another one of my favorite lines on the album. Like flesh that's been gnawed straight off the bone. with a monster riff. And then like flesh that's been gnawed straight off the bone. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Outstanding. The song has a really awesome, like dark and creepy vibe to it. Like delivered entirely through the guitar and by Kirk's vocal performance. He absolutely nails it. And yeah, like I said, lyrically, it stands out. The drums on this track stand out for me. They are relentlessly pummeling, and just the whole piece together really stands out as one of my favorite tracks on the album. And I really think it's one that a lot. I think this track might catch. Like I think not enough people have heard this one yet because it's kind of a deep cut on the album, but it's really, really fucking good. Next one I want to talk about is When the Contagion Is You. This was the first single, and at first I wasn't a giant fan of it. It features Matthew Heafy of Trivium. The quote is, "Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it's letting go." And that's Herman Hesse. And that is basically the hook of the song, which is something I really liked, is that some of the quotes are actually basically lyrics in the song. At first I was on the fence on this song, but I am absolutely addicted to it now. It's so fucking riffy. It's so catchy. Lyrically, there's some of my favorites on there. The hook is almost like too catchy. It'll get stuck in your head forever. They really kind of kicked up the melody on this song, and I enjoyed that. And the riffing, the drums during the heavy part of the song, fucking, there's like this one big heavy chunk, and it fucking kicks your teeth out, and it's outstanding. It definitely, that one was a grower, but it definitely ended up becoming one of my favorite tracks on the album. Last track I want to talk about on its own is Heaven Can Wait, which features Howard Jones, one of my favorite collaborators with Jasta. Heaven and hell seem out of proportion to me. The action of men do not deserve so much. George Louis Borges was the quote for this song. There's the solo on this one is Charlie Belmore, and it's absolutely one of my favorite tracks on the album when it comes to vocals. Howard's performance on this, to me, is one of my absolute favorite performances. It's peak Howard, all right? The singing and the screaming, it's peak Howard. And it's everything as a fan I want to hear from him. It's probably my favorite vocal performance from him since the Holy Diver cover with Killswitch Engage, which is one of my favorite covers of all time. I love the feeling Jasta pushes out through his vocals on this track. On the verse right before the fucking insane guitar solo, I think is where it really shines. He stays in this like hardcore vocal style, but he gives it a lot more emotion, and I think it absolutely sounds fantastic. He even does like a sort of a little singing on one line on "Salvation Comes at a Cost" is the line. And I think he sounds absolutely fantastic. It really is a well put together song and one of my by far favorites on the album. With this album, it really feels like Jamey Jasta set out to prove that he can write more than just hardcore songs or metal songs. And I think he really succeeded in that effort. The songwriting is very dynamic. It's very catchy. It's very melodic, but it stays very, very heavy and contains probably some of the most accessible and like cleverly written tracks that Jasta has done to date, I think. That may put off some really diehard hardcore metalheads or hardcore fans and things like that. But for me, I don't know, personally, not only do I respect the effort, but I think he executed it flawlessly. This album is probably a lot more accessible than a Hatebreed album. However, it doesn't. In that accessibility, it does not sacrifice heaviness, and that's what's important to me personally as a fan. It needs, to stay hard. Fucking, it's undoubtedly metal and fast, and in those categories. I love the quotes in the booklet that set the tone for each track so much. For the first few listens on this album, before I read the lyrics along with it and realized there were quotes in the booklet, it almost felt more like a collection of songs than kind of a cohesive piece. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as you sit down and read the lyrics with it, and then you read the quotes and everything, and they set those tones, it really takes on a whole new thing. And the more you listen to it, and I've been absolutely addicted to this album for the past week since I got it. It has been on repeat constantly. I can't get enough of it. And yeah, I really think that added a perspective on it that I was really happy with. I also absolutely love the feel and the tones that Jasta has on his albums, especially the ones he's produced. I noticed it a lot last year on the D. Snyder album, and now a whole lot on this one. He has a really good way of making a really warm and full sound on his records that I really enjoy, the ones that he produces at least. And the album covers a lot of different sounds. All right, there are some songs that could be right at home on a Hatebreed record, like "Silence Is the Enemy" featuring Billy Bio. But then there are other tracks that are almost like full-on thrash metal. Like to me, like 13 Appears. There are parts in that track and other places on the album where Jasta, to me, almost sounds exactly like Tom Araya. Sorry, Jesus Christ, from Slayer. God. And it's to me, it's absolute brutality at its finest. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, the last thing I want to wrap up on is this album did include one cover. Okay? Holy Wars. The Punishment Is Due, Megadeth. Now, I love a great cover. Okay? Some of my favorites are, like I said, Killswitch Holy Diver, almost any cover Guns N' Roses ever did. I do love that Five Finger Bad Company. The Children of Bodom cover album. Children of Bodom has tons of great covers. Devil Driver did a cover album, but they also have a bunch of great covers from before that, especially Wasted Years. Holy shit. If you've never heard Devil Driver's Wasted Years, go find that as soon as you're done with this video. What else? Yeah, and Cradle of Filth, Hallowed Be Thy Name, another one of my all-time favorite covers. They're pretty much... And to me, there are pretty much two ways to do a cover. You can do a carbon copy, or you can do add a little flavor to it. Devil Driver, add a little Devil Driver to it. Add a little Guns N' Roses. It bottom it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Add that element that's unique to the band. Typically, that's the kind of cover I prefer. However, when you're dealing with a song on the magnitude of Holy Wars by Megadeth, you're talking about one of the most renowned guitar solos of all time, one of the most renowned riffs of all time, some of the most renowned lyrics, all of these things, all right? It would almost be blasphemous to change anything. You know what I'm saying? And if you can nail the carbon copy version, if you can do it, then holy shit, did you just do something? You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what happens here. They nail it in a way that blew me the fuck away. Like, every note was perfect. Joss's vocal performance to the guitars, the drums, it all was terrifyingly spot on. Like, it was insane. The solo was another level. Like, it was just so perfectly played. And I feel like if you can play a song on that caliber that perfectly, then yeah, that's how you do the cover. And that's exactly what the fuck they did here. And it is, to me, it just illustrated the raw individual talent of all the artists performing on the track. And so shout the fuck out, man. Outstanding record. It's one that's really grown on me. I didn't even expect to like it as much as I do, but I'm in love with it, which is why I'm going to give it, I guess we sort of do ratings. I'm going to give it like a 4.5 out of 5 horns, all right? Somewhere in there is where I'm at on it. I fucking love this record. So, I definitely recommend check it out. Jasta Lost Chapters Part 2 on Stillborn Records. It came out December 13th. And you can get it, I think, at Indie Merch Store and a whole bunch of other places. Martyr Store. Check out everything if you're a fan. It's absolutely outstanding. Check out his podcast, too. He's got one of the best podcasts. Absolutely one of my favorite ones. And, yeah, I highly recommend it all. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoy this album as much as I am, because holy fucking shit, it's outstanding. We got a last. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but it's the day after Christmas that I'm recording this right now. That's why we're all festive as fuck here in the crypt. And we got an album of the review episode or album of the year episode coming, and I think that'll be the last episode of the year. And then we're gonna kick off next year with our album of the decade episode. So few things coming down the pipeline, and we hope to see you all again very soon. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for coming down to the crypt with me and checking this album out. Raise your horns, bang your heads. We love you all to death. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.